Hi friends, we are going to roll some paper beads. All you need to roll paper beads is a drying block, which is a piece of styrofoam with some toothpicks stuck in it. You need some glue, you need a rolling tool, and you need some paper. Now these papers have been cut into triangles, and all the paper that you're going to use today is going to be all pre-cut for you, so you don't even have to worry about it. You can use the same pattern on all three pieces of paper, or you can use different patterns like I have here. You can roll one bead, which would be a small bead, two pieces of paper, which would be a medium bead, or three pieces of paper together, which would be a large bead. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you a large bead. Now, one thing I want you to know, if you're using different patterns of paper, the pattern on the top, which is going to be this pattern right here, is going to be the pattern that you're going to see on your bead. If this pattern was on the bottom, this is the pattern you're going to see on your bead. So let's do this one on top. I think that one's pretty cool. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to line up all the edges of your paper right here at the very top and get everything in a nice smooth line. Then you're going to hold the paper here at the very tippity top. Take your rolling tool, put the metal pin of your rolling tool behind the paper with your thumb on top of the paper, and then you're just going to pull the paper through between your thumb and the rolling tool. And what that does is it curls the paper and it makes it easier to roll. Now I'm just going to realign. I'm going to make sure that all of the paper is lined up right here at the edge. This tool has a little slit in it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but we're going to take this paper and we're going to take it and we're going to slide it right into the slit so that the paper gets caught in the little slot of the rolling tool. Then I'm going to hold it. I'm going to kind of pinch it very loosely with my thumb and my index finger. This thumb and this index finger are going to hold on the rubber part of your rolling tool, and you're going to start to roll your tool away from your body, and your paper is going to start to roll on the pin. Now your thumb and your forefinger over here are holding it loosely so it can glide through and roll easily. But the key, or the job of your thumb and your forefinger, is to keep the paper all lined up. Here we go. All right, so we're getting toward the end of our little strip of paper. You can see that I have three little tails here, 1, 2, 3. And what we need to do is we need to get some glue on those little tails. So I have some school glue here. I'm going to get a little bead of glue right on the very tip of the nozzle, and then I'm going to run that little bead of glue right along the edge of the paper. There we go. And then I'm going to do it on this last one right here. You don't need a ton of glue, and it takes a while to get used to how much to squeeze the bottle and how much glue to get on the paper. Not a big deal, because we're going to use the glue to seal the paper anyway if you use too much. So I'm going to take my thumb, keep it on the tip of my rolling tool, keep my index finger up against the back. If I let go of this bead, it's going to unravel, and we don't want that to happen. So hold on tight, continue to turn away from your body. You can see that I'm getting glue on my finger, and what I'm going to do is use that extra glue to just roll around and spread on the bead, just like that. I'm just going to go around a few times. I'm not going to let go of the pressure against the bead because I don't want it to unravel, and I need to make sure that the glue is going to hold the paper in place so that if I let it go, it won't unravel. The way you know that it's time to stop turning and that the glue has set enough is the glue starts to feel tacky instead of slippery. So my glue felt tacky. I'm going to go put another little dab of glue right here on the very top of the bead. Again, you don't need a lot, but I'm going to press it up against my index finger because I want to try to get a little bit of glue all over this bead to seal it. I'm just going to run my finger along the bead, spreading that glue out till it doesn't feel slippery. It feels kind of tacky. And there we go. Our bead is all done. Everything looks great. So now that the glue is holding the paper in place, we can gently push the bead off the tip of the tool. There we go. We have our bead. If it's misshapen, you can move it around a little. The glue is still flexible enough so that you can get a good shape. Here we have a nice round-ish or saucer bead, as they call it. If you wanted a cone-shaped bead while the glue is still a little wet, you can take your 2 index fingers here at the middle of the bead, your 2 thumbs at the bottom of the bead, and you can pull it down and you can make a cone-shaped bead. Now what's really cool about that is if you had 2 cone-shaped beads, like I have here, you could take them and you could glue them together and you can get a really interesting shape there. So that's how you roll a paper bead. We're going to take our bead that we just created. We're going to stick it on a toothpick here. This is our drying block. It takes about half an hour for the glue to dry. Once your beads are all dry, you can take them off your drying block and then stick them in a storage container. Plastic bag, bowl, plastic container, whatever works for you. And the second part of this video, which will come at a later date, is how to glaze your beads so that they have a water-resistant finish. I hope you enjoyed your bead rolling lesson. I hope you enjoyed bead rolling. Have fun and roll some beads.